and the CAR. It is unacceptable. And I think one thing we should, Commissioner for Peace and Security, I think the Peace and Security Council of the African Union should buttress the importance of one thing that is on, an institution that is on paper, a commander is being paid for it, and the force does not exist. It has taken us 7 years, the standby force. Why should we Africans think that to solve our own problems, somebody has to finance it from outside? If every country puts in, how much money do we need? Each country is supposed to send a number of troops. These are troops, these are not new troops. They are already in your army and you are paying for them. Do you need extra resources? What we will need is money to mobilize them and then deploy them. Have a headquarters and a complete command structure that is permanent. If we don't have that, this African standby force would only exist on paper. So for God's sake, let us, the Peace and Security Council, make strong recommendations to have it established with a headquarters and a chain of command known, and so that by 2014, before the end of 2014, God forbid, but if anything crops up, this standby force would be able to act immediately. And the importance of the Peace and Security Council is the fact that only the Peace and Security Council can recommend the intervention of this African standby force. I told my colleagues, if you have to create this standby force, we have to stop asking the UN and others to finance it. We all have a lot of money. When we want to go on expensive holidays, some of us have been to Tahiti and it is very expensive. Some of us have been to the south of France, the most expensive part of the world. So it's not a question of the state. Each of us can make a commitment. Forgo your holidays, what you are going to spend on the holidays, bring it and then contribute it. But every country should be responsible for the transportation of your troops. So the Peace and Security Council, this is one thing we have to insist. If we don't have this standby force, then we cannot prevent foreign intervention. And when foreigners intervene, they intervene for their own interests, to secure their own interests. I think my sister from, tell my brother, otherwise I'll pay him a visit. We cannot allow Central African Republic and Sudan to go down the drain. We cannot allow external forces to solve our problem. We must solve this problem. And now is the time to solve the problem. If we allow it to be too late, the killings would continue, the wounds are going to get bigger and deeper. I don't want to take much of your time, but I want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank my colleagues for sending you. The mere fact that you are here shows their seriousness, but we have to be more serious and more proactive, because in most cases, the AU has always been always reactive to situations. So the Peace and Security Council, I think we should look at it again, and we must have an intelligence aspect of it to be able to focus potential problem spots, because this is very important if the Peace and Security Council is to be effective. We must have an information system that would alert us and say, I think we should address this issue, it's brewing up, rather than just wait until something explodes and you start saying, oh, how do we fix this? I do not agree with the English, but most of the time their language is right. Prevention is better than cure. We should be preventing and not trying to cure. And all the time, the AU, from the OAU to AU, all what we have been doing is curing. And it's very expensive. Once again, I wish you a very happy New Year, and I wish our brothers and sisters a very happy New Year in South Sudan and Central African Republic. And I also want them to understand that fighting is not a solution. Killing each other is not a solution. At the end of the day, one day they will sit at the table and talk peace. Then let them lay down the weapons and talk peace rather than continue to kill each other, only to end up at the negotiating table. Africans should learn to live with each other. There is nowhere in the world, even in Europe, where a country is comprised of one tribe. Now, even if you don't believe in God, you should know that we are created by God. And God in the next world, whether you believe in God or not, there is a next world. Now, if you hate another tribe, and God says, okay, let me take you to heaven, but your neighbor in heaven will be the tribe you hate, would you say, I would rather go to hell? Because also if you go to hell, you will find them there. Why can't we Africans learn lessons? This is very unfortunate. This is very sad. It is unfair. Meanwhile, those people that are scattered, their schooling is disrupted. What type of future do we expect for Africa if our children spend all their lives in refugee camps, malnourished, learning nothing but to hate and kill each other? The Peace and Security Council has a very vital role to play, and we must play it right and seriously. I wish you all the best. I wish you a very happy, prosperous New Year. I'm not happy to disrupt your holidays, but I have a duty, and we all have a duty. Whilst we are looking forward to holidays, people in South Sudan and the Central African Republic are looking for the next safe haven, or maybe the next meal in the bush. This is why we have to sacrifice. Convey my regards and my best greetings, New Year's greetings and best wishes to my brothers of the Peace and Security Council, but we have to meet at head state level, and we must get the protagonists to come to the table when we have this at the heads of state level. It could be in Conakry, or it should be in Addis, but we have to make sure that the next meeting we get the two sides together so that we can talk to them directly, because no matter what we do, without them we are not going to make headway. I want to thank all the other institutions and other heads of state that really went to Juba and met with Salva Kiir and the others. I think this is the best thing to do. I also had the opportunity to talk to Salva Kiir, and I gave him my peace of mind. I told him one reason I don't have a friend is because I tell you the truth. If your mouth is smelling, I will tell you it's smelling, because I'm your friend. I told him that he should really compromise in this situation, because to say that the army is on my side, so I have the upper hand, you're going to kill people to regain anything. Is it necessary? So the best thing would be to compromise. We all have to make painful compromises in order to solve a problem, because this is a problem where if it is not solved, a lot of people are going to die. And I'm very pleased that he has been making concessions. I think out of the 11, he agreed to release 8. But I think we should prevail upon him to release all of them. If that is what is going to end the fighting, he has to do so. Why would 3 people cause the death of thousands of people? If I were him, I would release them, if that is going to end the war. Because I don't think that keeping 3 people and thousands dying is worth it. So I want to really thank the chairman of the AU. He went out of his way to go, and then of course the Commissioner for Peace, and of course the President of Kenya also was there, and all those who went there to find a peaceful solution. And I want to thank you all and wish you all the best. May the Almighty Allah give you a very happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for those very enlightening, inspiring remarks. I'm sure they are food for thought for all of us to make sure the next steps are taken towards the common good of all of us Africans. Thank you, Excellency. As we started in the beginning, so shall we end. We'll have Dr. Senghor lead us in prayers in the Muslim way, and then our friend Pastor will lead us in prayers in the Christian fashion. Thank you.